Away from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, stories of real-life tragedy and the pursuit of justice for victims have been in the public spotlight as well. Here are the latest updates in true crime cases we've been following in 2024. On February 20th, former YouTuber Ruby Frankie, who gave parenting advice on the platform before being arrested on child abuse charges in August 2023, was given 4 consecutive 1 to 15-year sentences, which equaled out to 4 to 60 years. According to NBC News, Frankie's exact time behind bars will be determined by the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole. Frankie told Judge John Walton during her court appearance, "I am humbled and willing to serve a prison sentence. I understand this is going to take time." Her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, also received a 4 to 60-year prison sentence on February 20th. Back in December of 2023, Frankie, who shares 6 kids with estranged husband Kevin Franke, and Hildebrandt both pleaded guilty to 4 felony counts of second-degree aggravated child abuse per NBC News. 2 months after their sentencing, Kevin Franke filed a lawsuit against Jody. In the court documents, which were obtained by local Salt Lake City, Utah outlet KUTV and viewed by E! News, Kevin alleges Jody was responsible for physical and emotional abuse against 2 of his and Ruby's 6 children, listed as 11-year-old son RF and 9-year-old daughter EF in the documents, after Ruby moved them into Jody's home in May 2023. In the suit, Kevin is seeking a jury trial as well as an unspecified amount of damages. E! News has reached out to both Ruby and Jody's legal teams for comment and has not heard back. On February 21st, the Los Angeles Police Department revealed in a press release that it had made an arrest in the killing of model Maleesa Mooney. 41-year-old Minnesota resident Magnus Daniel Humphrey was taken into custody at his home on an unrelated federal warrant per the release. The 31-year-old was found dead in her downtown Los Angeles apartment on September 12, 2023, prompting a homicide investigation. Her cause of death was later confirmed as homicidal violence, according to the LA County Department of Medical Examiner, which noted that other significant conditions also contributed to her death. Per an autopsy report published by local outlet KTLA October 27th, officials determined that Mooney was beaten and wedged inside her refrigerator. The report also noted that Mooney was gagged with a piece of clothing and her wrists and ankles were bound. A day after news of the arrest, Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon announced charges against Humphrey in the case per a press release, which stated Humphrey was originally arrested back in November of 2023 and he was later extradited to Los Angeles. According to Los Angeles Supreme Court records viewed by E! News, Humphrey was charged with felony murder, specifically murder with torture, and felony torture. Per the DA's press release, Humphrey pleaded not guilty at his arraignment on February 22nd.
Rex Heuermann is a demon that walks among us.
During a January 16th hearing, suspected Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann, who had already been charged with the murders of 3 sex workers, was charged with a 4th killing, per court documents viewed by E! News. The 59-year-old was indicted in connection with the 2007 disappearance and murder of 25-year-old Maureen Brainerd Barnes, whose remains were found 3 years later. Heuermann pleaded not guilty to the new charges in connection to Brainerd Barnes' death, per NBC New York, just as he did to the charges of killing Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. At a June 6th court hearing, the New York architect's attorney entered a not guilty plea on his behalf to charges of second-degree murder in the deaths of Jessica Taylor and Sandra Costilla, NBC News reported. E! News reached out to Heuermann's attorney Michael Brown for comment, but has not heard back. 3 surfers went missing in Baja, Mexico on April 27th after they failed to return to an Airbnb rental. The bodies of Australian brothers Jake and Callum Robinson and their American friend Carter Rode were later discovered in a remote well that was 50 feet deep, along with a 4th body that had been there longer, in La Bocana, south of Ensenada, per NBC News. Authorities explained the trio were killed in an apparent carjacking, according to NBC News, with the Ensenada medical examiner saying that the official causes of death were gunshot wounds to the head. Prosecutors shared during a news conference on May 6th that they suspect the carjackers were trying to steal the wheels on the pickup truck used by the surfers. Authorities said they have 3 people in custody, one of whom was in possession of one of the victims' cell phones. 2 of the suspects were held on methamphetamine-related allegations, while the 3rd was the subject of a kidnapping warrant. E! News has reached out to the Baja California Attorney General's office but hasn't heard back. On May 23rd, Hollywood makeup and special effects artist Allie Shehorn was found after being stabbed more than 20 times in her home, according to her friend's GoFundMe. She was discovered by Christine White, who described herself as Shehorn's surrogate mother to KTLA, and was rushed to the hospital where she has undergone multiple surgeries. Actor Nick Pasquale, Shehorn's estranged boyfriend, was later charged with 1 count of attempted murder, 1 count of first-degree residential burglary with person present, and 1 count of injuring a spouse, cohabitant, fiancé, boyfriend, girlfriend, or child's parent, Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon announced May 29th. Though the release did not identify Shehorn as Pasquale's victim, the statement noted that on May 23rd at 4:30 in the morning, the same date of Shehorn's attack, her friends told KTLA, Pasquale allegedly broke into the Los Angeles home of an estranged girlfriend, where he proceeded to stab her multiple times. Pasquale allegedly then fled the scene and was detained at a border checkpoint in Texas between the United States and Mexico, per the release. Police confirmed to E! News that Pasquale was arrested, with the date and neighborhood of the alleged attack matching the details of Shehorn's attack provided by her friends to KTLA. The release from the district attorney's office also said the victim filed a restraining order against Pasquale days before the attack. E! News has obtained a restraining order filed by Shehorn against Pasquale on May 20th, only days before she was stabbed, as well as the court order granting the request. Following her attack, the 35-year-old's friends updated the public on her well-being. Her friend Jed Dornoff said in a May 29th Instagram post, Allie Shehorn is making positive steps to her recovery. It's still a very long road, but she is facing it with courage and determination. On June 27th, the judge laid out a plan for a June 2025 trial date for the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students almost 2 years ago, per NBC News. The tentative timeline set by Latah County District Judge John Judge came as the accused killer, Bryan Kohberger, appeared at a hearing in which prosecutors agreed to a trial for next summer. NBC News reports Ann Taylor, Kohberger's public defender, said she was also, quote, working toward that time and said it was reasonable. According to the outlet, Judge expects the trial could last about 3 months, including sentencing if Kohberger is convicted, and asked the lawyers to meet various deadlines. Kohberger faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and burglary after prosecutors say he broke into an off-campus apartment house early November 13, 2022, near the university, and fatally stabbed roommates Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle. Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, was also killed inside the home. In May 2023, the judge entered a not guilty plea on Kohberger's behalf, per NBC News. E! News has reached out to Kohberger's attorney for comment and has not yet heard back.